Hello guys, so we are going to continue the discussion with respect to Python, and in this video we are going to talk about file operations. We will be performing various file operations with the help of Python programming language. We will be playing with both text and binary files, and we'll also be understanding how to probably create files, how to write inside that, how to read the file content, and many more things. So let us go ahead, and first of all let me just go ahead and do the first task, that is read a whole file, right? So for reading a whole file, again we will be using with open method, right? And here I'm going to give my file name. Let's say that I'm going to give example.txt, and the second parameter inside this open, we will specifically use this R parameter. R basically means read, okay? And there are also other parameters which we will discuss, like write, write append, read append, right? Sorry, not read append, it is append separately. Then we have W plus operation where we can both read and write a specific file. So we'll be seeing one by one. So let us first of all start with read. So this will be my read operation, and I'll create a object of file, and then from line in line, okay? So from line in file. So inside this particular file, how many lines are there? Like in example.txt, we'll be keep on reading it. And now let me do one thing. Instead of just going line to line, initially we'll just go ahead and create a variable called as content, and we'll take this file, and then there is an operation which is called as .read. So what .read is basically going to do is that it is just going to read the entire content of the file, okay? So right now I've not created the file, that is example.txt. So we will go ahead and execute it. So here you can see that I'm getting an error saying that, hey, no such file or directory in example.txt, right? So this is the first error we usually get whenever we are directly trying to read. I'll be showing you other ways also, but there what will happen is that if I'm trying to read it, right, first of all it will create a file, and then we will be able to read it, okay? Now here what I'm going to do, so this is the file handling part. I will go ahead and create one example.txt file, okay? And with respect to this example.txt file, I'll just go ahead and write hello, how are you, okay? And I'm good, okay? Something like this. Krish is my name, okay? And welcome to the course, okay? Something like this. So now I'm going to perform all these things. I'll be reading specifically from this example.txt, and now let me just go ahead and execute it, okay? You'll be able to see that now I'm reading the entire content, right? So with example.txt, this is basically opening this particular file in the read mode, okay? We will not be able to write if we are opening with the help of read mode, right? And then we are just reading the entire file content. Now I may also have a scenario that I want to read a file line by line, okay? I just want to read it line by line. Now how do I read it line by line? So here we are going to specifically use with open operator, right? Here I'm going to use my again example.txt file, and this will specifically open in read mode. And now I'm going to use this particular object as file. Now since I have to read all these things line by line, so now I can go ahead and use my for loops, so that file will be over here as an iterable, because I have so much of content over here, right? So for line in file, right, I'm just going to go ahead and print my line, okay? And what I'm actually also going to do is that if I go ahead and execute this, so here you can see example, okay, example spelling is not right, so I'll just make it right. Now here you can see that when I'm reading line by line, it is also taking the new line characters, right? So here, because when I see this, right, if I go to the next line, so here a new line is basically getting added. So that is the reason you'll be able to see this space. Now let's say I want to go ahead and remove this particular new line character. So for that, I'll be using an operation which is called as .strip, okay? So this .strip operation removes the new line character. Perfect. So this is what we are able to do it out of it, okay? So this is what is there, right? And we are able to get the output. Now let's do some more operation. Now what I'm actually going to do over here is that let's say that I want to probably open a file for writing something inside it, right? So here let me go ahead and writing a file, okay? And here I will also make sure that I will show you overwriting clauses, okay, over here, right? Now let me do the same thing with open function, and I'm going to basically open this, and here I'm going to use example.txt, right? And this will basically be my write byte mode, and as file, okay? And then I will go ahead and write file.write, and let me quickly go ahead and write hello world. Okay, I'm writing this hello world with a new line character. Okay, so file.write is a method which will specifically help me to write anything inside this file. And here you can see that I'm using W mode over here. W mode is nothing but write mode. Okay, now this is the first line that I'm going to add over there with a new line, and then I'm going to add file.write. This is again a new line, so let's say I'll just go ahead and write this is a new line. Okay, and let me just go ahead and execute this. So let's see what will basically happen. Now as soon as I execute this, already you know in example.txt I have this content. So if I go ahead and execute it, here you will be able to see that the entire content got overwritten, right? So overwritten basically because I have just opened this particular file for the write mode, and it will just consider, okay, the file is completely empty, and when we write file.write, it is just going to overwrite completely from this particular content. And again, this is a problem out there, you know, we should never be doing like this. Instead, if I want to write a file without overwriting, okay, without overwriting, then I'll be using a different approach. So let me just go ahead and do it. So I'll say from open, okay, and here I'm going to specifically use example.txt, and let me just open this in another mode which is called as append mode. Okay, now in this append mode, what will happen is that if I go ahead and write anything, so if I go ahead and write file.write, append operation taking place, okay, and if I go ahead and execute it now, so here you'll be able to see this operation has taken place. Now, if I go ahead and see in the example.txt, this is the new thing that is getting it appended, right? I may also want to write it in the next line. So you can just use /n over here and do it, right? And now here clearly you can see that I'm able to append any text. Okay. Let's say I will go ahead and write /n again. I'll try to append this. Okay, so here you'll be able to see again it is getting appended. Now along with that, what I'm actually going to do is that again, let's go ahead and append this. So here you can see it will go to the new line because I had used /n before, right? So the file operation is basically taking place, and here you are able to append it. Okay. Now there may be also scenarios that I want to write multiple lines. Okay, multiple lines specifically. So writing a list of lines to a file. So let's do this. Okay, again, let's say this is lines. Okay, these are my list of lines. So here I'm just going to write, okay, this is my first line /n, then the second line /n. Okay, and let's go to the third line /n. Okay, so these are my 3 lines that I really want to add. Okay, let me make some cells and let me copy this thing entirely. Okay, and let me do this operation over here. Okay, now what I'm actually going to do, I will just go ahead and open my file. Okay, and I will try to open this same example.txt file in my append mode. Okay, in my append mode, and I'll create an object as file. Now, in order to write all the lines right inside this particular list, there is again a function which I can actually use, which is called as file.write lines, and all I have to give my list over here, right? So once I execute it, you'll be able to see that now first line, second line, and third line has got appended. Okay, so apologies for this particular spelling kind of errors. So you can actually make the changes as based on your grammatical things that you have, right? So I'm just making sure that I try to show you more amazing features with respect to this. Okay, now this was with respect to text file. Now let's go ahead and discuss with respect to binary files. Okay, how to work with binary file. Binary files are usually if I probably see the extension, it is basically a bin file, right? So if I go ahead and create a file over here, you'll be able to see if I go and write example.bin. Okay, so this is what we basically say it as binary files. Okay, let me just go ahead and append something over here, hello world something. Okay, some information over here, and this will be in the form of binary files. Now I'll go ahead and show you how you can read or write binary files. In binary files, we usually update bytes. Okay, bytes is very much important. So I'll just keep this as empty right now with respect to binary files. So let me just go ahead and write. So here I'm just going to write to a binary file. I'll be using this kind of bytes. Okay, with open example.bin in write byte mode. Okay, so now my this operation will become, it will not be read or write, it will be read byte or write byte. Okay, since I'm going to write, so I'm going to basically use it as write byte. Now if I go ahead and execute it, so here you'll be able to see in the bin, this is what I'm actually able to get, okay, in the form of bytes. Okay, so this is one of the operation that you can see over here, right? Similarly, if you want to probably read it, again we can use, instead of writing R, we can also use RB. Okay, so RB as file.read, and we are just going to print the content, and this is what I'm able to display right now in bin file. It is looking like this, and this is what I think hexa characters for those same thing what we have actually written. Okay, so this was one of the most beautiful thing with respect to file operation. Now as I said, let's do some of the things, right? Some practical examples and all, how to probably solve it. Okay, let's say I want to read the content from a source text file and write it to a destination text file. Okay, if I want to do this, I can go ahead and write it. Again, for this, it is very much simple. I will first of all read from a file. So let's say I am reading from my example.txt and I'm writing it to a destination.txt. So I have not created destination.txt. Let's see whether we'll get an error or not. So here is the content that I'm getting, source_file.read. And when I write destination_file.write content, okay. So if I execute it here, automatically you'll be able to see that I'll be creating this destination.txt, and this was my example.txt. Okay, this is one of the operation. One more assignment that you can probably take. Okay, and please make sure that you do this. It will be important. Okay, and read a text file. Okay, and I have already done this, I think, for you all, but I'll give you this as an assignment. Read a text file and count the number of lines, words, and characters. And this is the code. So first of all, you try it from your side. Anyhow, I'll be giving you the code. Okay, you can give the file part example.txt and just go ahead and do this, right? So this is a function that is got created. We are reading the lines. We are doing the summing up of all the lines itself. Okay, so this one assignment you can probably take it. Okay, so I think we have discussed so many things about it, but let us go ahead and discuss about one more operation. Okay, that is nothing but writing and then reading a file. Okay, this kind of operation. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to basically use with open again, and let me just go ahead and write example.txt. Okay, and this time I'm going to open this file in W+ mode. W+ mode is nothing but, if you don't know about W+ mode, I'll just give a statement over here so that you'll be having this as a markdown. The W+ mode in Python is used to open a file for both reading and writing. If the file does not exist, it will be created. If the file exists, its content is truncated. That is, the file is overwritten. Okay, so here you'll be able to see that I'm using W+ mode as file. Okay, and here I'm just going to go ahead and probably write the data to the file. So let me just go ahead and write file.write. And here I'm just going to say, hey, hello world. Okay, it is just going to overwrite it. Okay, and then I will go ahead and write file.write. Okay, this is a new line. Okay, this is done. Okay, perfect. Now after we write, we will make sure that we move the file cursor. Okay, right now the file cursor will be pointing to the second line. Okay, it will be pointing to the second line that is over here, but we need to move the cursor to the first one so that we'll be able to read it. Okay, so move the file cursor to the beginning. And how do we do this? We just use one very important method which is called as file.seek. Okay, now this seek, if you probably go ahead and see this, if I give it to 0, so it is just going to move the file cursor to the beginning. That is just like a 0th character or 0th index, right? Then we can go ahead and read the content of the file, right? And then I'll go ahead and print the content. Okay. First of all, I'll show you what will happen if I commented this out. Okay. Will it display anything? Okay. So let's go ahead and run this. So here you can see I'm getting hello world. This is a new text line. Okay. Let's see what is getting printed. So print content is basically happening over here. Let me see whether my example.txt has got loaded. So example.txt, this overlaid, this is basically giving me a new sentence, hello world and all. And here you'll be able to see that I'm printing the content. Okay. Just a second. Okay. So the thing is that I did not read the file. So previous variable only it was showing me. Now let me do one thing. Okay. File.read. Okay. Now I did not read the file, right? So what I'm actually going to do, see, I'm just commenting this. Okay. And we are writing these 2 lines in my example.txt and we are reading it. If we do not write this line of code, what will happen? It will not display us anything. Okay. And here you can see in example.txt, this 2 line has got appended because the cursor will be pointing here. We have to make sure that we have to take the cursor over here, right, to the first one. So that is the reason you'll be able to see once I probably remove this, and if I execute it, now you'll be able to see that I'm actually able to get both the line. Okay. So this is what you'll be able to see with respect to this, and how amazing this is, right? Again, let's say that you want to do multiple times read and write. Always make sure that you try to use this file.seek and make it to the beginning one, right? Yes, this was it. I think I had probably taken many things with respect to file handling. But yes, as we go ahead and see multiple use cases, as we go ahead in the upcoming sessions, we'll be seeing more different kind of operations. So yes, this was it from my side. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you. Take care.